So hey, just this is one of the best rebounding teams in the country. One of the best tests you guys will probably have with your new lineup. What do you guys have to do to sort of overcome that strength they have?
I think it kind of goes along with what our goal has been every game, kind of what our focus has been every game. But obviously, when you play teams like this, when you play teams like Alabama, teams that can send 5 guys to the glass, you kind of emphasize it more, and it's definitely more of a focus. And we need to all make sure that we're locked in on our assignments, offensively and defensively in terms of rebounding.
I don't know if this is going to make sense or not, but is this a game where you have to be more physical than athletic?
I'd say it's kind of both.
Yeah.
A lot of times I've been, blessed where I can use my athleticism, and if I miss a box out, I can just, jump and go get rebounds. But when they send that many people to the glass, it's kind of one of those things where we got to make sure we hit people and be physical.
How much was just taking them out, too? I mean, just sacrificing yourself to just take one of their guys out and let one of your teammates get the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of, one of those things where you might not always get the ball, but, you're kind of creating a lane, by hitting someone for a teammate to run in there and grab the ball. So, whether or not it's me or TK or, a big, getting the rebound, one of the things we emphasize is just going to hit someone and having those guards fly in there.
Mm-hmm. Just you and Miles kind of as a tandem. Your energy really, or your athleticism comes out more when you play with energy, right? And that's kind of how you have to make up the difference with the size.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of one thing that we bring is just, exciting plays, that athleticism, that energy. So, that's definitely an emphasis, to kind of be able to use our athleticism and kind of use that energy that we have to kind of make plays, and especially on the defensive side.
Late in the Maryland game, when you guys are in press break, how much does that your eyes kind of pop out of your head when you see situations where you might be able to sprint down the floor and get opportunities like the ones you cashed in on there?
I kind of get excited for it just because, obviously when I know when I'm the last guy and there's no one behind me and they send everybody forward that, there's going to be a play that's going to be at the rim. So, obviously, Maryland's a good team, and, they kind of had to do that late, and, we kind of had some opportunities where we got easy baskets late in the game.
There's a play where I can't remember what happened to you at the offensive end, but you were on the baseline basically, and you sprinted down the floor and deflected a pass. Just the impact you can have just by sprinting.
I think that just goes with playing with effort. Everybody's going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. That's just part of the game. But, when you can play with effort, and, we can't let teams out-compete us. Coach Painter says that before every single game. We can't let Maryland play harder than us. We can't let these other teams play harder than us. So, it's an emphasis for us to sprint offensively and defensively, but, a lot of that just comes from your effort.
How are you blocking shots? Like, what's kind of your role in that? Is it just as a help defender?
Yeah, I'd say,
you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'd say it's either help defense or I had one on a floater, I think, against Maryland. That was one of the ones that I had. So, it might come on ball, but I got called for a goaltend Penn State, which was, kind of not smart on my part. I thought I could make a play on it, but I was a little late and just should have let it go because that was a tough shot anyway. But I'd say, kind of on the ball if I have an advantage, and then help side, obviously, if guys get beaten on that low man, that's kind of where I can come over and help block shots if needed.
Sure.
Matt said that you give up kind of the defensive mismatches that you have the offense, but how are you growing as defending, obviously, once you get into the Big Ten, bigger guys every single night?
Yeah, I think it's just, kind of being mentally ready. You kind of got to know that these big guys are going to look to get position on me, more times than a 3 or 2 or, a wing or a guard would. So, that's just something that I have to mentally prepare for, kind of always being ready, being the one to hit first, and, not kind of letting these big guys get the position that they want.
Do you take for granted having a guy like Zach that could erase a lot of mistakes now that, you're trying to defend with a smaller lineup?
I'd say yes. Anytime you have someone who has that rim presence, not only offensively but defensively, and can help us when we make mistakes. That was a huge thing that we didn't really rely on it last year, but obviously he was a big help for us. So I think you can definitely say that when you have a presence like that, you kind of take it for granted a little bit.
With a smaller lineup that's maybe more athletic and quicker, do you benefit maybe from the second half against Maryland? You're able to keep the ball out of the paint a little bit more. Just being able to use your athleticism to maybe take what is perceived as a mismatch and make it an advantage for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of one of the things that we've talked a little bit about is, we can switch with the 4 guards or the 3 guards and me. And then obviously, a few times we switched 5 ways with TK. So, it's kind of been an emphasis for us just to be, locked in, and we have guys that can guard the ball. So, it definitely helps when they try to search out mismatches and we can just switch it.
As a 4-man now, you become kind of an important post-help guy. How has that transition been for you? You guys are doing it different too this year.
Yeah, it's been a little different just because I wasn't really in this role as much last year. But again, it just kind of comes from preparation and kind of reps at it. And, obviously there's been times where I've made mistakes, but, when it's something new, you just got to learn and listen and kind of be open-minded and, know what I'm doing right and wrong and just kind of improve on it to be better at it each time.
Do you think about yourself as a wing anymore, or do you think about yourself as a power forward? Like a traditional power forward. We talked for the season about you're pretty big and strong. It's not. We say these are small lineups, but
I'd still consider myself a wing. Just at the 4 position. Obviously, like you said, I put on some good weight this summer and got a lot stronger. I've never really thought of myself as like a true power forward. I was kind of still think of myself as kind of like a bigger wing.